Why do most people never change their lives? Most people believe that change begins with a big decision. They imagine a dramatic moment, a breaking point, a surge of motivation, a sudden realization. But in reality, change almost never starts that way. Most people stay exactly where they are, not because they are incapable, but because nothing ever feels urgent enough to demand consistency. They wait for clarity. They wait for confidence. They wait to feel ready. And while they wait, days quietly turn into years. This video is about that quiet space. The space where nothing is technically wrong, but nothing is truly moving forward either. Readiness feels responsible. It sounds mature to say, I'll start when the timing is right. But the truth is, readiness is often just fear wearing better language. Because if you wait until you feel fully prepared, you will wait longer than you expect. Growth usually begins when certainty is missing, when clarity is incomplete, when confidence hasn't arrived yet. People who move forward don't feel ready. They simply stop using readiness as a requirement. Motivation is unreliable by design. It reacts to emotion, not commitment. That's why motivation fades when routine appears. When progress becomes repetitive, when no one is watching, most people don't fail on hard days. They fail on ordinary ones. Days where nothing dramatic happens. But the work still needs to be done. And ordinary days make up most of life. Discipline is often described as pressure or control. But real discipline is quieter than that. Discipline is not forcing yourself forward. It's removing the need to decide every day. When actions become automatic, they stop draining willpower. People who stay stuck are constantly negotiating with themselves. People who move forward reduce negotiation. One of the most damaging habits is comparing your starting point to someone else's visible success. You see results, not the repetition behind them. You see confidence, not the years of uncertainty. Comparison doesn't just discourage effort. It distorts expectations. When progress doesn't look dramatic, people assume it isn't working. But most meaningful change is subtle at first. Consistency exposes boredom. It removes novelty. And without novelty, the mind looks for escape. This is where many people quit. Not because the task is hard, but because it stops feeling new. The people who progress learn to tolerate monotony. They stop needing excitement to continue. Failure rarely looks like quitting outright. It looks like postponing. I'll do it later. Just today. I deserve rest. These thoughts feel harmless in isolation. But repeated daily, they build a habit of delay. And habits shape outcomes far more than intentions. Lasting change doesn't begin with goals. It begins with identity. When actions are treated as temporary efforts, they collapse under pressure. But when actions are tied to identity, to who you believe you are becoming, they gain stability. You stop asking if you feel like continuing. You continue because it aligns with who you are. Every time you abandon a commitment to yourself, something subtle happens. Not guilt, not shame, doubt. You begin to question your own reliability, and that doubt makes future effort heavier. Consistency rebuilds trust. Not dramatically, but gradually. Slow progress often feels discouraging because it lacks visible reward. But slow progress is usually sustainable progress. Anything built quickly can collapse just as fast. What takes time often lasts. The absence of immediate results does not mean the absence of impact. Most people expect a breakthrough moment, a clear signal that everything has changed. But real turning points are subtle. They feel like persistence without enthusiasm, like continuing, even when the excitement is gone. And that quiet continuation is often the moment everything begins to shift. Success is not intensity. It is return. Returning after distraction. Returning after hesitation. Returning after doubt. People who succeed are not those who never stop. They are those who resume faster. Here is a simple reflection to carry forward. Choose one small action that does not depend on motivation, emotion, or perfect conditions. Something simple enough to repeat, even on uninspired days. Then repeat it quietly, without announcing it, without judging progress too soon. Consistency grows in silence. Most people don't need stronger motivation. They need fewer excuses disguised as patience. Progress does not require intensity, only honesty and return. And sometimes, the decision to continue, without excitement, without certainty, is the exact moment life begins to move forward again.